This is brand spankly new, by the way. Brand spankly new. This is an algorithm update that happened the weekend I was in Rome. So this weekend just gone, Amazon updated its algorithm and made some changes to the way things happen on Amazon for SEO. And you guys know what SEO is, search engine optimization. And that's been a bit of a shit for some people and very, very good for others. So here's a question. Neil, I was using SFB. SFB is an acronym for Search, Find, Buy to rank my products, but I noticed that it is no longer working as well. It's not. Any ideas what's happening? Well, I can tell you. Well, first of all, a little bit of background. Let's first do some background. So here's background. Let's do background. Search, find, buy is, let's supposing I'm looking for healthy weight chicken dog food. So search, find, buy is dog food chicken, for instance. So that's my main keyword. I search for it and then I find my product. Let's just say that's my product. Dunk. I click on it, search, find. So that's our searching and finding part. And then pretty simply, I buy it. Okay, so that was the strategy, search, find, buy. And for a long, long time, that worked like gangbusters to rank products. But this weekend, it stopped working anywhere near as well as it was working. Now, I am always mindful of Amazon's algorithm changes and making recommendations for changes in the immediate short term after an algorithm update, because oftentimes Amazon's strategy is just to shake the shit out of things and then to see where the lay of the land afterwards, and then to make changes and slight updates as a result of that. All right, so that's their typical MO. So it's always, I think, a very good idea to, take a breath and see what happens in a week's time before you spit the dummy in the short term and make heaps of changes to your shit. All right, so with that being said, hopefully you'll just kind of take a chill pill and relax a little bit. However, here's the bottom line with SEO. Here is the bottom line for SEO. And I have belabored this point, but I will mention it again. Amazon is a business, and the sole purpose of that business, necessarily so, is to make money. Now, there are a lot of different ways that it chooses to do that, but that is the sole purpose of the business, as it should be for all businesses. And then you can choose whatever you want to do with the money, of course. So how does that play out for SEO? Well, pretty simple. Amazon looks to maximize the return on investment, the ROI, for any given customer that visits its platform. That's what it's trying to do. That's the main metric that it looks to optimize. And how does it do that? Well, for SEO, when somebody goes to Amazon, types in their search phrase, chicken, not chicken. Chicken's the New Zealand way of saying that. How was the rugby on the weekend? Holy crap. Anyway, so they look to maximize the ROI by maximizing the return on investment for any given search phrase, because that's what a customer does. They go to Amazon, they type something in, and then they buy something, all right? So if we do the search, so what Amazon now looks to do is to move products around based on how much money they make. And there's a few different ways that products make money on Amazon, but for our purposes, the number one thing and number two thing that Amazon looks at is click-through rate. So from this page through to the product detail page, that's a click-through, which Amazon calls a unit session percentage, which you can search for in your reports. So that's the number one thing it optimizes for. The number two thing it optimizes for is people then buying the product. Okay, so that's the two things that Amazon's optimizing for. So what the hell does that tell us? Well, what that tells us is Your real estate that you have on the Amazon search results is massively important. It's friggin' hugely important. What real estate matters? Well, the number one thing according to Amazon is images. So if you've got shitty images for your product, you will be behind the 8 ball immediately. So you've got to get good images for your products, because that's what Amazon has assigned. The majority of the real estate in the search engine results page is assigned to images. Thus, we know with certainty they are the most important thing, because that's what Amazon is telling us simply by virtue of the fact that they get the most real estate. You also, of course, get reviews. Well, you can manipulate that pretty easily. And you also, of course, get your product details page and your price, although price is less important than you might think, all things being equal. So, what to say about this? Well, nothing really changes. Nothing really changes. Still, the most important things are click-through rate and people buying your product, which is the most important thing for you. It's also the most important thing for Amazon. So the update is, whilst search, find, buy may not right now, a little glitch perhaps, who knows, I've got no idea right now, a little glitch perhaps, whilst it may not right now work as well, in the long term, always the strategy is optimize your images, optimize your title, optimize your listing. That's always the best advice with these kind of things. These short-term hacks and strategies pale in comparison to the long-term strategy of making sure your listing is done properly. That is the ultimate hack for your Amazon business, if you want to call it that. That's the ultimate hack. The short-term shit that I teach you, whilst it's fun, and it's fun for me, don't get me wrong, I friggin' love it, but it is always short-term. Search, find, buy, whatever it is, the other things I teach in Inner Circle, all those things have got a lifespan to them, which is why, by the way, I don't include them in previous people's Inner Circles. When they join Inner Circle, you don't get the back ones, because typically they're out of date by the time you get to them, unless you've got them at the time. So let me show you one more thing on that. All right, so one more thing on that. Let's just go over to, because while we're talking about Amazon SERPs, let's just do something else, and I'll show you one more interesting thing. All right, so Amazon.com, which is where they do the majority of their testing, which is why you should pay attention to it, and then they roll that shit out across other marketplaces. All right, so if I just type in for roadside flares, for instance, which is something I monitor. So on Friday night, I noticed roadside flares in the SERP, search engine results page, so this shit here. I noticed that video was in the search engine results page. Search engine results page also then showed video. Now, it was only there for a short period of time, but it was being tested. So that's another potential way things are going to go. I don't know if that will go there yet, but it's certainly friggin' interesting. And we know already that video is important to Amazon because, you know, Jeff Bezos tells us that. So that was interesting. Also in the search engine results page, you can see already, this is something I've discussed at length before, that there's other shit here as well being manipulated. So editorial recommendations is in there, which is basically their influencer marketing that they're doing. If you haven't checked that out, you should definitely go and check that out. Very, very interesting. Of course, the strategy here is simply to become your own influencer for your products. And they've also got things like best rated in there as well. So they're constantly testing shit out. But always, the best strategy is to optimize your images. Very, very important. And the real estate you've got, not only in the search, but also in your listing as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing. If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.